Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
What a finish, what a goal!
Dangerous cross and escape, they're headed down. Good save from offside.
Good afternoon, welcome to Matchday Live. We're here at Deepdale for Preston North End against Cardiff City, and significant changes to the Bluebirds lineup today following that win in the seven-side derby last weekend. Of course, in goal, we knew that this would be the case. Jack Alnwick makes his first league start today in place of the suspended Ryan Allsop, but significantly two absentees, captain Joe Rawls and striker Connor Wickham. Neither of those two in the starting 11 nor on the bench this afternoon. So it sees City line up as follows. We think probably in a 5-3-2 shape. Alnwick in goal, as we say. A back three of Mark McGuinness, Cedric Keebre and Perry Ng. And in the wing-back positions, more than likely Jayden Philogene and Callum O'Dowda. Ahead of them, Andy Rinomhota comes back into the side, alongside captain for the day Ryan Wintle and Romain Sawyers in probably the most advanced of the three positions. Up top leading the line is Sorry Cabot. On the bench for City, Rowan Luthra is the deputy goalkeeper, the backup goalkeeper. He's joined on the bench with Marlon Romeo, Shea Ojo and Tom Sang. And interestingly, Sabri Lamouchi spoke in the week about his loved Welsh youngsters. They're all on the bench today. Ruben Colwill, Mark Harris and Isaac Davis all return to the 18. Well, for Preston North End, unbeaten in their last five, albeit only with one win and four draws during that time. Changes again for them, including a return to the 11 for Ben Woodburn, the Welsh international who broke onto the scene a few years ago. So they line up as follow. Number 1, Freddie Woodman. 2, Alvaro Fernandez. 3, former Bluebird Greg Cunningham. 4, Ben Whiteman. Number 10 is Daniel Johnson, the captain. 14, Jordan Storey. 15, Troy Parrott. 20, Ben Woodburn. 23, Bameo Diaby. 28, Tom Cannon. And 44, Brad Potts. On the bench for Preston, Patrick Bauer, Liam Delap, Ched Evans, Robbie Brady, Ryan Ledson, Josh Onomer, former Fulham man who scored against City in that playoff semi-final a couple of years ago, you may remember, and Di Cornell, the backup keeper. Well, the big news today, of course, is that first start in league action for Jack Alnwick, and we spoke to him as the teams arrived earlier today.
Jack, obviously good form recently. How important is it to build on that today?
Yeah, obviously it's a good run. We've got ourselves in a good position. We've put obviously things in our hands, so it's important when you come away from homes to pick points up on the road, and that's obviously what we're here to do. Play our game and play how we know we can. Then we know it's going to be a tough game, but we know what we can do as well. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
It's a long way away from home, isn't it? But I suppose we'll have that home support almost from the away stand today, you'd imagine.
Yeah, they're always brilliant. We're travelling numbers everywhere we go. It's been the same for years. That you can see what the derby game done to us. The crowd got back on side, and it was a brilliant atmosphere. And yeah, they can get right behind us. And away games are always tough, no matter where you go. But to have them behind us, you've seen this season what I can do. Like to Birmingham away, it's a massive push for us towards the end of games.
And say as well, in the next couple of weeks now, we've got a big run up towards the international break. So I imagine it's one of them where you really want to continue to on that form now before we have these couple of weeks off.
Yeah, I think we've got obviously a target where we want to be before the international break. We've got 3 games, 3 massive games, and we want to take something from every single one of them, and we want to put ourselves in the best position possible with our break and be able to enjoy our break. So starts today. We don't look forward to any games apart from today. We do the business today and then move on from there.
Good luck
Cheers.
this afternoon.
Nice one.
Top 5 in association with the Big Yellow Self-Storage Company.
Great here for Cardiff. Come flying out the box. Wilson finds Murphy. Sitting behind him. Murphy on his left foot though. Goal! It's Josh Murphy, and it's another brilliant start to a second half.
1-2 Thompson. Oh, that's an excellent ball. What to do? Still waiting up. Oh, gets past Alexander. Chopra. Second of the night. Cardiff City score 1. Goal number 21 of the season for Michael Chopra. Made again by
body and get away with it. Cardiff can break in numbers here. Wilson's in space. Moore uses Ojo. Ojo still going on his right foot. Ojo! 1-0 to the Bluebirds. What a goal that was.
Ruthless in transition, Cardiff. Starts with Joe Rolls in his own area, reads the ball forward, wins a good break header, as you said, Mark, and then from then on it's just crisp from Cardiff.
Battles his way forward, he's going forward, he could score here, he does score! What a goal from Kenneth O'Hare, 2-0!
It's an exceptional piece of individual skill from Kenneth O'Hare, absolutely remarkable from the young man. Picks up the ball on halfway, back to 3 defenders. He backs his own strength, his own pace and his own ability, and just bulldozes his way through 2 challenges in the midfield area, and then has all the composure in the world to bear down on goal, draw the keeper and lift the ball delicately up and over.
Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
What a finish, what a goal!
In terms of the Bluebirds, in terms of selection and shape, well, it's not dissimilar, we think, to the shape that City used against Birmingham in that 2-0 win a couple of weeks ago. It does have 3 notable absentees though, and they are key absentees. In goal, no Ryan Alsop, of course, we know that, suspended after being sent off last week, so a first league start for Jack Anick. But key news, no Connor Wickham, who misses out on the 18 altogether, we assume with a knock. The same presumption for club captain Joe Rawls, he isn't involved in the 18 this afternoon. Ryan Wintle wearing the armband. So in terms of shape for the Bluebirds, we think it's probably a 5-3-2. We'll have to see how that goes. But in goal then, Jack Anick, a back 3 of Mark McGuinness, Perry and G and Cedric Kipre, and then it looks like Jaden Philogene and Callum O'Dowda in the wing back positions. In midfield, excuse me, Andy Rinomota comes back into the side alongside Romain Sawyers and captain Ryan Wintle. Up top, Keon Atet back into the starting 11 alongside Sori Cabot. On the bench for City, Rowan Luthra is the backup keeper, joined by Marlon Romeo, Shea Ojo and Tom Sang. And the 3 Welsh youngsters that Sabri Lamucci spoke about in press earlier in the week are part of the 18 today. Ruben Colwell, Isaac Davis and Mark Harris, still very much a future for that trio at the Bluebirds. Well, for Preston, the key return to the side is Ben Woodburn. He, obviously the former Welsh international, is burst onto the scene a few years ago. Stuttered really in recent years, but back in the side today. And we think that Preston will line up as follows. In goal for the Lily Whites, Freddie Woodman, who was on loan, of course, at Swansea City last year. And then back 3 of former Bluebird Greg Cunningham, Jordan Storey and Bambo Diaby. Ben Whiteman will sit just ahead of the back three, with Daniel Johnson and Woodburn ahead of him. Alvaro Fernandez and Brad Potts in the wing positions, and a top two of Troy Parrott and Thomas Cannon. On the bench for Preston, Di Cornell, Patrick Bauer, Liam Delap, Ched Evans, former Welsh international striker, Robbie Brady, former Irish international, Ryan Ledson and Josh Onomer, released by Fulham in the summer. Decent player that a lot of clubs looked at. Of course, he scored against the Bluebirds in the 2021 playoff semi-final, you may remember, at Cardiff City Stadium, with that jinking goal from the edge of the area before placing home past Alex Smithies. Well, games are dropping off. Teams have much more of a limited opportunity to do the business this season. Cardiff City, of course, have done superbly well in that respect in the last 4 games, winning 3 of those fixtures, against Bristol City fantastically last weekend, and also against Birmingham and Reading prior to that slender defeat to Norwich last time we played on the road. Well, the two sides take to the field. Preston in their traditional white and navy, Cardiff City in all blue. They emerge from that tunnel away in the far corner. And this famous stadium once again hosts a fixture that has tended to be exciting here, less so on home soil. So hopefully we'll get another good game today. Hopefully City can take something back with them along the M6 and the M5 and back home to Wales. Long walk across the pitch from that tunnel in that far corner near the Tom Finney stand, Bill Shankly Cop. Some famous alumni is probably the understatement of the afternoon here at Preston. One of the forebearers of the English Football League, one of the biggest teams really, following inception in the late 19th century into the early 20th century. But Preston North End have never been a Premier League club. They've come close over the years, they flirted with the playoffs, but they've never quite made that step, and arguably the biggest club outside of the Premier League that have never been in it, if you see what I mean. There could be an argument made for Bristol City, but just in terms of Preston North End's history and the lineage of the sort of players that have come through this club, their absence at the top table is worth mentioning. This season they've been a stoic side, I think it's fair to say, unspectacular, haven't conceded many, but haven't won enough games. They sit 13th in the division today, slap bang in the middle of the table, 47 points, 9 points ahead of the Bluebirds. Preston aren't going anywhere this season, up or down. Well, the two captains speak with the officials. Now the pre-match presentations have been completed. Ryan Wintle with the armband today. Daniel Johnson, very talented player, has been a bit of a curse to Cardiff City over the years. He wears the armband for Preston. I'm joined on commentary this afternoon by Thomas Hopkins. Thomas, who you will know from our academy coverage. Nice to have you with me here at Deepdale today, Thomas.
It's great to be here, Mark. Really a match that I think we're looking forward to. It's been a great trip up, and hopefully for the away travelling supporters as well. I think Mark, you pretty much summed it up. I'm expecting quite a competitive match here today, and with a bit of a change of shape perhaps for Cardiff City this afternoon.
Yeah, apologies for that.